Can a pineapple and a watermelon really make a delicious jam? Well, I think it can. So obviously we need a good ripe seedless watermelon. I like to cut mine like this into kind of like pie-shaped pieces. And that's just because it's gonna make it easier for my rinds to be sliced up and ready for my dehydrator for jerky. We also want a pineapple. Now not only is this gonna give us a little tropical taste to our jam, but more importantly, it's gonna make the jam acidic enough that it's safe for canning. I like to grab my blender and put it right on a food scale. Then for every 400 grams of watermelon, I'm gonna add 75 grams of pineapple. We can't have jam without some sweetener, so I'm gonna add 75 grams of stevia. Use any sweetener that you want, it does not matter at all. However, I like stevia and I'm gonna continue to use stevia. Now I love my Ninja blender, but you cannot operate it if the lid's open, so I picked up another blender. But anyway, go ahead and blend everything together. Can't do that with a Ninja. But right now all we have is juice and we want jam, so we got to thicken it up. And we ain't using any of that pectin. We're using guar, baby. Run your blender and slowly start sprinkling this in. It ain't gonna take a lot, but introduce it slowly and this stuff will start to thicken right up. It gets thick quick and that blender will start to talk junk, but that is just crazy. Look at how thick it gets. If you want it a little thicker, you can add a little more, but I'm gonna stop right there. After I simmer this thing, that's gonna give me a little more than a pint jar. To ready this for canning, I'm gonna bring this to a very slight boil, then reduce my heat to a low heat, cover, and let it simmer for 20 minutes. Just be sure that heat is low and you keep a check on it. If you ever scorch a jam, it's totally ruined. Well, it's getting a little stormy out there, so we'll bring it back inside for a minute. But just look at how thick it becomes. I really wish you could smell it. It smells absolutely incredible and nothing like what you would think. The cooler it gets, the thicker it's gonna get. So go ahead and get your jars loaded ASAP. For these pint jars, we'll only need 1/2 inch of headspace. Be sure you clean these rims good with either a damp cloth or distilled vinegar. Seals on, rings on, fingertip tight. If your canning pot is tall enough, you can actually stack pint jars. I have 10 in the bottom. Then you need one of these dividers to place on top of those jars, and then you can finish filling them up with the rest of your jars. If you're not processing enough to fill up the top row, you still need to put empty jars in there to keep these from rattling around and fill these full of water. To process these, be sure that your cans are fully covered with water. Bring it to a rolling boil. Once it reaches that boil, I'm gonna cover these and start a 10-minute timer. I've let the water cool for 10 minutes and now I'm removing them. I actually had a lid pop off of one. Sure made a mess in here, but these kind of things just happen from time to time with canning. These will sit right here and cool and seal overnight, and I'll clean them up in the morning. Well, here they are, all nice and cleaned up, sealed, rings removed, and ready to be stored in my cool room. This is the one that the lid popped off of. I think the ring just wasn't on tight enough, but I've had it in my fridge overnight. But just look at how thick that stuff is. I mean, it's almost like a jelly. As for the flavor, well, it's nothing like you would expect. It just has the most delicious flavor. Neither the watermelon or the pineapple stand out. It almost tastes like cotton candy. It is so good. I highly recommend giving this a try. So head on out, grab your watermelon and a pineapple, and get you some of this delicious jammed can while you still can. Happy canning, y'all.